Do you feel like eating all the time, even when you've just finished eating? Have you ever found yourself raiding the fridge without really being hungry, as if something was pushing you towards food? If this happens to you, understand, this is not hunger, it is sabotage. And while you think you're failing on your diet, these invisible triggers are preventing you from losing weight day after day without you realizing it. It's like trying to run with the handbrake on. No matter how hard you try, the weight loss won't come. And then comes the frustration, the guilt, and the feeling that you will never make it. The truth is different. The problem is not you. It is these small mental and emotional errors that are going unnoticed and that are acting against your healthy weight loss process. And if you don't identify this now, each day that passes takes you further away from your goal of losing weight with health, focus, and balance. And that's why today you need to watch until the end. Because understanding these saboteurs could be what will definitively unlock your weight loss. And most importantly, it starts now. You'll be surprised at what's really behind your hunger. And most importantly, it starts now. You'll be surprised at what's really behind your hunger. Because the truth is, in many cases, you're not hungry. You're trying to escape something. Food became an escape valve, a comfort, a distraction. And this is the first trigger that is sabotaging your conscious weight loss process. Unresolved emotion. Maybe it's the anxiety that appears at the end of the day. That silent loneliness when the house is empty, or even that swallowed anger that you hide with a piece of cake. And all of this creates a silent cycle. You feel something, take it out on food, blame yourself later, and repeat. It's at this point that healthy weight loss starts to become impossible. Because you're not dealing with how you feel. You're trying to drown it out with food. This is not weakness. This is a survival mechanism. But now you are aware. And that changes everything. And if you've already identified this trigger in yourself, take a deep breath and follow me, because there's still more. The second trigger is the environment in which you live. Yes, what surrounds you is directly connected to your eating behavior. You know that table full of snacks at work? Or the smell of bread in the bakery you pass by every day? Or even the fast food advertisements that appear all the time on social media? All of this is on purpose. They are visual, olfactory, and emotional, stimuli designed to make you want to eat, even without hunger. They activate parts of your brain linked to immediate pleasure, pushing you to make decisions that you wouldn't make if you were in control. And the problem is that this doesn't happen once. It's every day, every time, and the more you are exposed, the more vulnerable you become. And if you've made it this far in the video, if this content has helped you in any way to understand your relationship with food, do the following. Subscribe to the channel here. This helps me to continue producing content that frees you from these silent cycles and brings you closer to true weight loss without suffering and without guilt. It's your way of telling me that this video made a difference for you. Combined. So, let's move on. The third trigger that sabotages your weight loss is more linked to your body than you might think. Tiredness. Physical or mental exhaustion is one of the great disguised villains of female weight loss, especially for those who have double shifts, busy routines, unregulated sleep, and constant stress. When your body is exhausted, it doesn't ask for rest, it asks for food. But not just any food. He will ask for sugar, fat, quick stimulation. It will make you crave that sweet treat at the end of the day, that savory snack in the middle of the afternoon. And you think you're hungry, but it isn't. Your body is just trying to stay awake. This is survival, not food needs. And then, when this happens frequently, your body starts to accumulate. Fat burning slows down. Hormones become unregulated. Metabolism slows down. And you don't understand why. even if you eat little, you can't really lose weight. And then comes the fourth trigger, which is perhaps the most dangerous: excessive restriction. Many people believe that to lose weight, you have to cut out everything. You have to go hungry. That carbohydrates are the enemy, that eating outside of the diet is failure. But let me tell you something truthfully. The more you restrict, the more your body defends itself. He doesn't understand that you want to lose weight. He understands that he is in danger. And when it feels like it's not getting enough, it activates protective mechanisms, stores fat, increases the desire for high-calorie foods, generates compulsion, and then that garbage day turns into an entire weekend. And the feeling of failure comes. What many people call weakness is just a direct consequence of a system that is reacting to excessive rigidity. Therefore, losing weight with balance is more powerful than losing weight with punishment. And finally comes the quietest trigger of all: automatic habit. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times you put food in your mouth without even realizing it? Watching TV, in the car, while working, even while cooking. Repetition creates a pattern, and the pattern becomes routine. When you see it, you are eating because it's time, or because it's there, not because the body asked for it. This automated behavior is what most impedes nutritional re-education, because it seems harmless, but it is what accumulates. Small wrong decisions every day. And these small decisions are precisely the ones that add up at the end of the month, the week, the year. In your mirror, in your clothes, in your self-esteem. This is where weight loss without suffering begins, in awareness, in the choice to break the cycle, even if little by little. Now that you understand how these 5 triggers act within you, let's continue together and go deeper into this, because knowing is just the beginning. The next step is to transform this awareness into action, and that's what I'm going to show you now. I also went through exactly this. I found myself opening the fridge several times without hunger, with that empty feeling in my chest, and blaming myself afterwards for having sabotaged my own diet. The feeling was of weakness, of lack of control, as if I didn't have enough willpower to continue my healthy weight loss process. And each time this happened, there was the weight of frustration, silent shame, and the thought that perhaps I would never be able to change. But when I discovered that behind that crazy desire to eat, there were invisible triggers, everything started to fall into place. I realized that the problem wasn't with me. It was the environment, the unresolved emotions, the tiredness, the automatic habits. I wasn't weak, I was being programmed, conditioned to react without awareness, and that freed me. It was at that moment that everything changed, because guilt gave way to clarity. And when you start to see the real reasons that make you eat without hunger, it's like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. You understand that your body is trying to protect you, and that the path to balanced weight loss isn't by fighting it. It's by learning to listen and reprogram those patterns. And now that you have this awareness, it's time to take the next step. Stay with me until the end, because now that you recognize that these triggers exist and understand how much they directly interfere with your conscious weight loss journey, I'm going to show you exactly how to start deactivating each of them in a practical, real, and possible way. And look, it has nothing to do with a magic formula, crazy diet, or cutting everything off your plate. What I will give you is clarity. It's strategy. This is what will allow you to take back control of your diet and, above all, your mind. Because when you understand what makes you eat without hunger, you start to act differently. Start losing weight more easily, with less guilt, with more balance. And the most surprising thing is that you don't need to change everything at once to see results. Small, conscious changes to each trigger will give you more autonomy, more freedom, and of course, more results. It's as if you finally get off the autopilot that makes you fat without you even realizing it, and start directing your own weight loss journey. So take a deep breath, because what I'm going to show you from now on will help you build a real path, a possible path. And it all starts with the first step, which is seeing what previously went unnoticed. Many people still believe that losing weight is simply an equation between eating less and spending more, as if the body were a predictable machine. The truth is that if that were all there was to it, most people would already have reached their ideal weight. The problem is that no one told you that behind your diet there are emotional, behavioral, and even neurological mechanisms that control your choices without you realizing it. And as long as these silent triggers are active, no matter how regimented your diet is or how hard you work out, you will end up sabotaging yourself, eating out of turn, overdoing it without even understanding why. And then, of course, comes the guilt, frustration, and that feeling that you will never be able to lose weight healthily on a lasting basis. That's why you need to understand, the root of the problem is not in the food. It starts long before the food reaches the plate. It starts with how you feel, the environment you live in, the habits you repeat without thinking, the level of fatigue your body accumulates, the restrictions you impose on yourself thinking you're doing the right thing. All of this creates fertile ground for compulsion, lack of control, and the famous accordion effect. And you know the worst. It's just that most people don't even realize they're living like this. They believe they are failing because they lack discipline. But they are, in fact, trapped in a system that was never designed to work. True sustainable weight loss begins when you understand what's behind eating behavior. When you look beyond the scale, beyond the menu, beyond the training. It's about awareness. It's about seeing what activates your emotional hunger, what triggers the desire to eat even when the body doesn't need food. When you learn this, you stop fighting yourself and start walking with clarity. It's no longer about counting calories, it's about telling the truth, because only the truth liberates. And it is this truth that we will delve deeper into now. Maybe now you're thinking, but I don't eat that much. I don't exaggerate like people say. I even make an effort to follow a healthy diet. And you know what? You might be right. You may, in fact, not be overeating. But the most important question here is not how much you eat. Yeah, because you eat. Are you eating for the right reasons? Do you eat because your body really asked for it? Why did your body need energy, nutrients? Or are you eating because you are bored, anxious, irritated, needy, frustrated, or simply used to repeating certain behaviors without even realizing it? This is one of the biggest breaks in belief within the conscious weight loss process. People believe that if they are not eating large amounts, then they are not sabotaging themselves. But binge eating and sabotaging behaviors often don't come with explicit exaggeration. They come disguised as small, frequent habits. A pinch here, a bite there, the just today that is repeated tomorrow, the just a little bit after lunch. Repeated small allowances made without awareness accumulate negative results that halt your weight loss. It's not about eating a lot, it's about eating without clarity, without listening to the body, without presence in the moment. Eating on impulse, emotional reaction, or automatic habit. And when you eat like this, you take away from food the function of nourishing and place on it the responsibility of filling what is lacking emotionally. This is what keeps you from healthy and lasting weight loss. Because when food becomes a refuge, comfort, or anesthesia, it stops being a solution and becomes a prison. And the most dangerous thing about all this is that we normalize it. We say that everyone does this, that it's just a difficult moment, that I'll make it up later. But this compensation never comes in the right way. It comes with guilt, with a heavy conscience, with more rigidity at the next meal, with more self-control. And so, the cycle continues. So if at any point you find yourself saying that you don't eat as much, that you don't understand why you don't lose weight, I want to invite you to ask yourself honestly, do I know why I eat? Because that's where the turning point lies. And when you start to answer that question, everything starts to change. Let's delve deeper into this together now. Today, you discovered the 5 most common triggers that sabotage your weight loss, silently, surreptitiously, and often without you even realizing it until now. Unresolved emotions that you try to calm with food, environments full of stimuli that awaken desire even without real hunger, physical and mental exhaustion that confuses tiredness with the need to eat, extreme restrictions that push your body to binge, and finally, the automatic habits that make you eat without even realizing it. All of this accumulates day after day and stops your healthy weight loss, even when you think you are doing everything right. But now, something has changed. Now you see. And seeing is the first step to freeing yourself from this cycle. Because, when you understand what is sabotaging you, you also discover what you can start to change. And these changes don't have to be radical. They need to be conscious. You don't need to control everything at once, but you need to start doing things differently. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. Because knowing is not enough. What transforms is what you do with this awareness. Now tell me here in the comments, which of these 5 triggers do you notice that gets you the most in your daily life? Which one do you feel is most present in your routine and has hindered your conscious weight loss journey? It could be that moment of anxiety that makes you attack the fridge, or the automatic habit of snacking without realizing it while watching TV. Maybe it's the environment you live in, full of stimuli that make you crave food all the time, or perhaps excessive restriction that leaves you emotionally exhausted and vulnerable to exaggerations. Just by identifying this clearly, you are already taking a powerful step towards transformation. Awareness is the first cut in the cycle of compulsion, and it is what will allow you to lose weight freely, without suffering and with real health. So comment below. Tell me your reality, because I read everything. I respond to as many people as possible, and I want to help you. And if this video has already cleared your mind, if it gave you value and made you understand what was hidden behind your hunger, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This helps me continue producing content that makes sense to you. And share this video with someone who keeps saying, I don't know why I gain weight. Because now you know, and you can help someone else find out too. And if you think these triggers have already opened your mind, wait until you see what comes next. In the next video, I will show you a real, shocking transformation that will completely change the way you see food and weight loss. You need to watch it urgently. The diet that transformed Rebel Wilson's body isn't just about what she ate. It's about how she rebuilt her relationship with food, and that will turn a wrench in your head. But be careful, this video may make you rethink everything you believe about dieting. Click now and watch, because you will never eat the same way again after watching this. Are you ready? So run there before the cycle takes over you again.